Hey guys, it's Sam, and today I'm going to be talking about my most anticipated releases for this spring. There's a long list like there always is. I still haven't even bought all the books that I wanted from winter because I'm trying to not buy books, but these are books that I want to buy. They're going to be added to wish lists. That some of them I do have pre-ordered. These are those books. As of the filming of this video, these are the release dates, but as you know, sometimes these things change. The first book comes out March 8th, and that is The Great Hunt by Wendy Higgins. This is based on a grim fairy tale. I believe it's called The Singing Bone, and it is about a kingdom in which there is a beast that terrorizes the entire kingdom, so the king, in desperation, says that whoever kills this beast gets to marry his daughter. And his daughter is more of the kind of like spunky, stubborn protagonist, so she's always going to create some problems for this, but also one of the hunters that enters into the competition is kind of hateful towards royals and doesn't really like them and wants to kill this beast, but not for the whole like marriage prize. So obviously there's some kind of like angsty kind of love to hate relationship possibly with that synopsis. Anyway, it's a fairy tale retelling and it's kind of almost like Beauty and the Beast-y, although it's based on a different fairy tale that's not Beauty and the Beast, and it has that kind of like stubborn protagonist thing. There's a lot of things that kind of tick my boxes with that, so I have to have it. Also coming out on March 8th is Rebel of the Sands by Elwyn Hamilton. I actually requested this book for review from Penguin, so I already have a copy. This one ticks a lot of my boxes as well, and that it takes place in the desert, and it's about a spunky girl who's a gunslinger, and it also sounds like there's kind of this like love to hate kind of back and forth relationship going on in there, and it takes place in a magical desert with magical beasts and stuff. Lady gunslingers, magical beasts, desert setting, it's my thing. And the last book for March comes out on March 29th, and you are probably not surprised at all that it is The Winter's Kiss by Marie Rutkowski. This is the third book and the last book in the Winter's Curse trilogy. I don't have to talk about it. I know it's going to be on everybody's list. I'm so excited because The Winter's Crime left me in utter devastation where I've been sitting for the last year. So I don't need to say any more about this. I'm going to love it. I know I'm going to, and I'm going to cry, and all of my feelings will be spilled out onto the floor for everyone to look at because that's what these books do to me. The next set of books is all for April. The first book comes out April 5th, and that is The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. I requested an arc of this from Penguin for review because it sounds like something I'm really going to enjoy. I haven't read a lot by Rochelle Mead. I've actually only read Soundless, but I've won to read The Vampire Academy, just didn't want to get into like 12 books because with that and the spin-off, it's just a lot for me. So this one she was talking about a lot at Y'all Fest this year, and it sounds like it's going to be right up my alley. It's about a girl who's being set up into an arranged marriage, and she does not like this, so she escapes, one of my tropes that I really enjoy. She escapes to the new world, and she has to join something called the Glittering Court. The Glittering Court is kind of a school, kind of a business that transforms impoverished girls into high society ladies to be married off. And there's a little more to it than that, though. She starts discovering that there's a lot more kind of going on. It's kick-ass ladies in dresses, and I've heard wonderful things about Rochelle Mead's characters and just how she builds really long series. This is supposed to be, I think, again, another 6-book series, I think. So I have a lot more confidence in this than I had in Soundless, and I've heard really good things about Rochelle Mead's writing. I want this one to be one that I love. We'll see what happens. Another book that comes out April 5th is Tell the Wind and Fire by Sarah Rees Brennan. I haven't read anything else by Sarah Rees Brennan, but this is a Tale of Two Cities retelling. And The Tale of Two Cities is my favorite classic of all time. Tops everything, even like Pride and Prejudice and stuff. I need to reread it, and I want to reread The Tale of Two Cities again before I get this book. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I've never seen a Tale of Two Cities retelling. I haven't seen it adapted. Why don't we have a web series about it, kind of like Lizzie Bennet Diaries? Why? But this is my chance to have some wonderful Tale of Two Cities feelings, and I've heard really good things about Sarah Rees Brennan's writing, so hopefully this one will not disappoint because I will be so utterly disappointed if this is disappointing. The next book comes out on April 12th, and it is A Fierce and Subtle Poison by Samantha Mabry. I have heard nothing about this, but it sounds so interesting. It kind of sounds like a Puerto Rican folk tale mixed with the modern, so it has magical realism in it, which I'm super, super excited about. And it's Puerto Rican magical realism. Like, I haven't seen anything like this at all. It sounds so unique and original, but it takes place in Puerto Rico. It kind of centers around this myth of this girl who's cursed. She has poison in her for some reason, and there's this boy who's been told these myths his whole life by his family and stuff like that, and then he kind of comes in contact with this cursed girl because his girlfriend goes missing. So there's magical realism, and it's like, is this girl like human, beast, like what's going on? And the cover is like so beautiful, which is what originally drew me in, I'm not going to lie. And then I read the synopsis and it said magical realism, and I was like, yes, take all my money. And the last book for April is another one that I'm sure all of you know about, and it is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I have not caught up in the Raven cycle as of the filming of this video. I need to read the next 2 books. I've read The Raven Boys, but I haven't read the last 2. I need to do that, but I'm not emotionally prepared, and I know I need to read it before this book comes out because I follow way too many Raven cycle blogs on Tumblr, and I'm gonna be spoiled. So I need to get to it and read it as soon as it comes out, but I don't know if I can handle my emotions, but I feel like everyone else will be having the same emotions, so it's the best time to read it. So my goal is to read those books before this one comes out, and then read this to everyone else, and again, just be a pile of tears. And finally, we have the releases for May. The first book comes out May 3rd, and that is Traitor Angels by Anne Blackman. She wrote another historical fiction duology that I really want to get to that takes place in World War II, but this follows John Milton's daughter during a different time period. I'm not sure the exact one off the top of my head, I'm so sorry. But it follows John Milton's daughter, whatever time period that is, and it's basically this whole like conspiracy, traitor stuff hidden within Paradise Lost, and her and this other person are kind of trying to figure out the puzzle. So it kind of sounds, and I don't want to turn people off by this, but it kind of sounds like Da Vinci Code-esque, but not written by Dan Brown and like awful, a cliffhanger, like it, yeah. Da Vinci Code was fun when I read it, but it's not the best work of art or anything, but it sounds like that kind of like puzzle mystery thing going on, set in a historical time period, so like even cooler. It sounds really amazing. I've heard really good things about her other books, and this one sounds awesome. The second book I'm sure will make a lot of lists as well. It comes out May 3rd, and it is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I don't want this to be on my list, guys. I really don't. If you have heard how I felt about ACOTAR, if you haven't, I will link it up above. Not a big fan. At all. But I am Hades and Persephone trash, and this has Hades and Persephone elements to it, so I admit that I am anticipating reading this, even though I don't think I'm going to like the majority of it. So it's one of those weird, like, wow, this is an odd list usually, books that you kind of figure in a hate. Yeah, like I said, Hades and Persephone trash. I can't help it. I know I'm going to buy it. There's no hiding it, but I am bitter about it. The next book also comes out May 3rd because, spoiler alert, May 3rd is a huge release date for a ton of books. That is The Square Root of Summer by Harriet Rutger Hapgood. And this is another magical realism story which instantly hooks me, but it has to do with like time travel and losing time and like quantum physics, which sounds really weird, but it's going to be a lot more like condensed than that. I don't think it's really going to be the sciencey part of anything, but this is about a girl who feels like she's losing time. It seems like the fabric of time is kind of like unraveling around her, so she's seeing all these things and like memories and things are getting all mixed up, and it's kind of like parallel universes or parallel times and stuff are kind of like coming into one another. That sounds really cool. I didn't describe it probably well at all, but it had just like those buzzwords of like, you know, parallel universes, time travel, kind of like folding in on one another, magical realism, goodness that I need. The next book that also comes out May 3rd is one that I also have, and that is The Star Touched Queen by Roshani Chachki. I say the name horribly every time, so if you guys know the correct pronunciation, please list it down below. But this is another one that I've been highly anticipating, which is why I was so glad I won it in the Twitter giveaway. And it's about a girl cursed with a horoscope that promises the marriage of death and destruction. Yeah, needed. It has Indian folklore elements and Hades and Persephone elements. It's all I need to know, as you guys already know, because I already mentioned it. Hades and Persephone trash, and when you have different folklore that's not just based on like European folklore mixed in, I need it. I need it. I need it. The last book that comes out May 3rd is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I honestly have not even looked at the synopsis because I don't care. Morgan Matson is one of my favorite YA contemporary authors. I'm not a huge fan of YA contemporary, but I really love her books and they're always 5-star reads for me. So I don't care what this is about. I think the cover is really cute. It is going to be amazing. She does great things with her characters. They are deeper YA contemporaries to me. Like, yes, they are fluffy and they are fun to read, but she does more with them and she just really goes a lot more complex than a lot of YA contemporary does, and I love it so much. I love her characters. They just leave me feeling happy when I read them. I need to have it. I don't care what it's about. I think the main character is a dog walker. That's all I need. And the last book that I am highly anticipating comes out May 17th, and that is The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. This is a YA fantasy that takes place in a magical Russia. What does that sound like? Something that I love with all of my heart and soul? Yes. So I'm definitely going to be reading this one. There's a kind of duel called The Crown's Game where two magicians kind of face off in this magical battle. So it combines elements of a magical Russia, kind of like the Grisha trilogy, and the Night Circus. Two of my favorite things combined. So that is really high expectations. I'm not sure if it's going to live up to that, but that's really all I needed to know. I mean, I was already sold on Magical Russia, and then we had like Magical Tournament, and I was like, give it to me right now. So that is it for all my highly anticipated releases for spring. Comment down below and let me know some of your highly anticipated releases coming up in the next couple of months. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all you guys soon. Bye!